Yuan Tong Ling Ming. Healing kidney and bladder. Number 6. Today we are going to look at the various methods from a standpoint of kidney qi. Hold on, I can feel the microphone in my mouth. We are going to go through each method like we did with the lungs to emphasize why everything is good for kidney qi. At this point, I would like to remind us all of Yuan Gong, mainly working, not mainly, working always within the totality. That means that all the methods work on all types of qi. Yeah? It works on the unhealthy qi or the damaged qi. It works on wei qi, the protective qi. It works on the dantian qi. All the methods work on all the organ qi, all the pure organ qi. It works off the qi of the body, on the qi in the channels. It works on Cheng qi, which is Cheng qi, which is upright qi. It works on the qi of Shen. So it works on the membrane qi. It works on all the qi that we are. And we also are partially or part of Yuan qi, the original qi of the universe, which then starts to be transformed into different types of qi as the laws of human life are being imprinted onto it. So as we go along through the methods, the supplementary exercises, and the first 4 methods for most of you, we work always on all types of qi, just to remind us all of that. But as I said, today we are going to look at especially the kidney qi aspects. Let's start with the preparation. As kidney qi, first of all, governs our prenatal qi as well. It governs our individual life somewhat. Because kidney qi does store, one of its jobs is to storing qi and information, especially information, and because it's also governing our prenatal qi, the qi from before birth, and it's governing the growth and development, it is quite important to do the preparation very well. The more relaxed you are, the more calm you are, the more natural you are, and the more you can work on the information um, in a way that is really beneficial for your overall life. Not just a life in this body. Right now, we're looking at the aspect of prenatal chi. So, taking time with preparation, the relaxation, taking time with each body part, really unifying with it. It's really the time to remind yourself that you are chi and that kidney chi needs to be taken care of very well, and to fully infuse yourself. So, the relaxation part of the preparation is very healthy for kidney chi. Kidney chi, as you've heard, a few weeks down the drain now, is responsible for memory and concentration, focus. So if you do your relaxation well, it also stores this kind of information. And in a moment in which you might have been triggered by something in the external, and a pattern, an unhealthy pattern of the consciousness or behaviors being active at the moment, if you do the relaxation well each time you practice, no matter which of the exercises you practice, the more the more your Jing, your body, Qi, and Shen will remember what it is like to relax. And so you will be able to relax easier in the moment when you need it most, which is when you have lost your state and your relaxation. Same goes for building the Qi field. Building Qi fields is very good for kidney Qi. And that's why, it is good to take some time. It pays off to take some time. When you build a Qi field, what you're doing is you're putting information in. And this information, this positive information, is going to go inside and transform unhealthy information that is stored. And because storing is the job of the kidneys, building a Qi field to have the information that does do the healthy transformation is very healthy for kidney Qi. Same goes with the memory of your practice. Your focus and concentration will deepen not just during practice, but also afterwards. Throughout your day, you will be able to focus better, you will be able to concentrate better. Because kidneys take care of your will, if you build a good Qi field, you might be able to break through and replace some unhealthy patterns easier. So maybe you want to spend some time yourself thinking about all the aspects you've heard and why building a chi field and relaxation is so very beneficial for it. Yes? Always think totality. When kidney chi has to do with everything that has been before in your life, and it's storing all of these informations. So going really well through this relaxation and building a chi field is highly beneficial for your kidney chi. Since we're at building of the chi field that is good for kidney chi, practicing besides water will be very good. Building a chi field, unifying your chi field with the natural chi field of a stream or a river or a lake or the ocean. It can help you strengthen this element because kidney is the element of water. So if you have some time, I suggest to you to try out, to go out to a beautiful place in nature where there is water and do the kidney sounds, or do the whole fourth method, or simply do a round of Tien Yuan with a good relaxation and a good time with building a chi field in which you can particularly imagine that all the water, you use it, you put it into your chi field, and then you open to the universe, and from there you then draw this whole strong information about water into your kidneys, into the chi field, and then you go ahead and practice. Also, when you build a chi field, information like, it is not a problem. I can easily undo things from the past. I can transform the information from the past. I can clear negative effects of cause and effect. I can develop and nurture my life, and I can follow my individual law. I can find out about my individual law, and then I can follow it. So I can follow Tao. The universal laws. So kidney chi is being nourished by the lungs and nourishes the liver. Kidney chi is controlling or balancing the heart. Heart is Shen as well. So if you take time in building a chi field, you can through getting in, so the chi field mainly is there for gathering or putting information inside and around of you, so that you increase the healthy information. And also it is to adjust Shen. And Shen is being governed by the heart. So if kidneys are controlling the heart, that means if you don't have good focus, you might have troubles with building a chi field. And then you might not get into a very good state. So can you see the connection there? How when you take good care of your kidneys and you are putting emphasis on strengthening your kidney chi with the exercises, with the methods, and with taking care of your patterns of the consciousness and your behavior patterns, then you will maybe see that as your kidney chi gets stronger, because you're controlling, kidneys control the heart, you will be able to get into deeper states of consciousness, more relaxed, more calm, more natural. Building chi fields with the connection and the awareness that you are benefiting your kidneys as you build the chi field can have huge ramifications in your life, can influence your life positively, very big. To the preparation, one more thing that comes to mind right now, because when we go through relaxation before the building of the chi field, most of the times our mid area, the lower back, is for a lot of people quite tense. So everything that has to do with the sacrum and the lower spine and the sacroiliac joints is very good for kidney chi again, so it can flow freer there. Yes, so that's what the relaxation is for. Very good for as well. So let's move on to the squats. So squats are highly beneficial for kidney chi. First of all, remember the kidney channel and the bladder channel. I wonder if I should show it to you one more time. Maybe I do that. The kidney and the bladder channel are very long channels. They go from the very bottom of the foot all the way up and through various ways through the body and up all the way to the brain. That's why kidneys nourish the brain, as we have learned. And I think I'm just going to show you the channel one more time, the picture. Not sure if this. Just have a look one more time at the kidney channel. From the bottom of the foot, up at the inside of the foot, around the ankle to the knee, upwards, from there going into the lower back, internally and externally, straight up the abdomen, over the breast, to the clavicle, and from there up to the ear. An internal channel goes into the lungs and breast, and from there upwards, from the ear all the way into the brain. And then I'll show you the bladder one more time, just so you have that present now. When we go through all the exercises, especially with a Renyon also, it is might be quite important. It's a little bit mirroring here. Hold on. I wonder, here we go. So the bladder channel is also going in the back. Remember that? To the ankle, the back of the legs, up twice, up the back, And then around the head to the ear as well, coming down the front of the face. Oops. So you can see now very well why the squats would be extremely beneficial to heal kidneys and bladder. Yes? Everything that goes along the channel is especially good for kidney and bladder. And because the whole body is involved when we do squats. The next reason being so beneficial for kidney chi is that, or bladder as well, and the whole urinary system and reproductive system, is that we gather lots of dantian chi because all we do is going out and into dantian, going into the universe and into dantian, or better said, being the universe. And then squatting down, becoming dantian. Because squats are also quite up, down, up, down, up, down, it will strengthen our willpower for those who are easily getting bored, for example me. And it is going to, if you're not easily getting bored, your willpower will be strengthened too. And it also trains the focus. It's practicing the focus because, you know, it's quite single-minded what you do. It's like well, not really. The movement is so simple and it's always the same. That's what I mean. It's repetitive and it's simply going up and down and up and down. And all you do is think, open, close, open, close. But to keep the focus and therefore training, practicing, strengthening the focus. And all that is helpful with focus is helpful for kidney chi. Because kidney chi rules the lower back, so to speak. Of course, that's the other reason why squats are so very good, because the kidney channel is being opened far in the lower back. The sacral joints and the sacrum and the whole, all the vertebrae of the lower spine, they will all be activated, the chi in this channel. They will all be moved and be flexible and especially stretched and elongated. And so there's a lot of space in there, and stretching makes chi go very smooth. It's almost like, you know, you are evening it out. And when this area is flowing, when the chi in this area is flowing well, then your kidney chi and your bladder chi can flow very well. And in turn, influence positive and beneficial effects on your kidneys, on your ankles, on the soles of your feet, on your knees. Kidneys rule the knees, so the squats are very good for knee problems, any sort, because the chi there is getting activated and unblocked and nourished. Because of the up and down movements, squats increase the vertical flow, and we need the chi to flow upwards well, upwards first of all, to be able to have the brain nourished very well, and the ears, and also the other sensory organs, actually, the whole head. But also to be upright in life, not in the body only, but I mean it within the personality, to be chi, set hi, the will, and to be an upright person, a Cheng person, set hen chi. To be a person that acts out of good intention and, kindness and so on. An upright personality. So squats can help you there with your kidney chi. Let's look at pulling chi, la chi, open and close. The same as with the squats, because it's simply open and close. It has very strong effects on your focus, and therefore works on, because focus is a quality of kidney chi. It can also strengthen indirectly your kidney. Of course, your will as well, your willpower, your courage, and all the things we have talked about. Yeah. Then you can, of course, use kidney chi, use pulling chi directly on kidney chi. Pulling chi to your kidneys, pulling chi to the head, the brain, pulling chi to the ears, pulling chi to the bladder, pulling chi to your knees, will have beneficial effects on your entire kidney chi. Same as rubbing chi. Same as ro chi, kneading chi. Drawing chi back after each of the supplementary exercises and nourishing dantian chi will also be highly beneficial for kidney chi. Yes? Since dantian chi has a very close connection to kidney chi. When we look at Yongdong Fa, we can see that Yongdong Fa, moving like snakes and worms, is very beneficial for kidney chi if you do a lot with your feet, So you open and close your feet, and you draw chi up through Yongquan, the first point of the kidney meridian, which is on the bottom of your feet. And you Yongdong up chi all the way up the legs, of course, pulling chi up in the bladder channel, pulling chi up in the kidney channel. But remember, we don't really work on the channels like that. We work in a totality, because why would there's a few other channels going up the legs. We'll get to that with the next, you know, organs, the gallbladder channel, the liver channel, the spleen channel and stomach channel go there as well. Yeah, so there is more channels going up. And when you do Yong Dong Fa, of course, you think to bring it up the whole leg. But as we look at it today from the kidney perspective, very beneficial, because of the bottom of the foot is especially kidney chi area. The ankles are surrounded by kidney chi and bladder chi. The knees is ruled by kidney chi. So Yongdong with your feet and legs is very good for your kidney chi. So if you have reproductive issues or adrenal issues or urinary issues, if you have willpower issues, you can benefit, Yongdonging your kidneys a lot when you just maybe sit around or, anywhere really. Just have you get your feet going, get your consciousness going. Imagine you're drawing chi up. We're going to focus on that in the next web class, especially since next web class we're going to do implementing all of this. Today is just the information to have it present, because often we do not take the time to, in our day-to-day life, to just step by step go through all of the aspects regarding one organ. And that is quite fabulous to have time to look at those things, in detail. Yongdonging your spine, so drawing chi into your spine, either at Wei Lu up to Bai Hui, or from Bai Hui down to Wei Lu is very good for the kidney chi as well. Of course, it's nourishing the brain when you're drawing chi from Bai Hui. When you move the spine, it makes the whole spine, especially the lumbar spine, very subtle and filled with chi and smooth and bendy. It's bending nice, it's curving nice, and flexible is probably the right word for bendy. Good. Just to make sure, I know you know, but whenever I say kidney chi, actually also I mean bladder chi, right? So incontinence can be helped a lot with any of those supplementary exercises. Squats, pulling chi, rubbing chi, row chi, yongdonging the spine or the feet and legs to the bladder, for example. Yeah, so you can imagine to incorporate chi flowing upwards there into the bladder and accumulating while you yongdong, yongdong. On some days, you might find that you have resistance to practice. You might find that you're missing willpower practice. One of the main methods. Di Yuan, the standing form, maybe, or Ren Yuan, or Sha Yuan, or Tian Yuan. Yong Donging can be a good supplement there. Okay, so then Yong Dong your feet while you do read a book or listen to an audiobook or watch TV, or if you're sitting with friends, chatting away, socializing, you can also go ahead and Yong Dong your feet at least, maybe not your legs. When you're in a cafe, depends on how free you are in your social behavior and all the pressures and restrictions that we undergo when we're in society. But your feet, make sure you wear good shoes, or slip out of your shoes under the table and Yong Dong, and think to draw it to the bladder and kidneys. If you have ear problems, you can either draw the chi through Yongdonging the feet and legs up towards the ears from below the universe, or you can draw chi with your mind down from above in the universe, down into Bai Hui, and then to the ears, and you can Yongdong your head forwards, which we call crane head, or sideways, which we call dragon head. And then you will feel the chi soon entering. If you join in with me, drag the chi down. Trying to keep the upper body still, but you can also, if you feel like, you can Yongdong the spine sideways a little bit. Or just to only the head. Not twisting much, just rotating the ear and chin up, down, ear and chin up, down. And the chi starts flowing really well from the universe down into Bai Hui, into the head. And from there it starts to move in an 8 into the ears, through the center of the head, into the other side of the ear, into the center of the head. But of course, actually the chi is flowing everywhere at the same time. So if you're sensitive to chi, you feel chi flowing in an 8 movement, in a stream like this everywhere in your head, nourishing your ears, your hearing, at the same time nourishing your brain, right? So Yongdong is something that can be incorporated a lot, actually, and it pays off to think about how to do it, and it pays off even more to apply it. Let's go back to opening, close, pulling chi for a moment. Opening and closing. So when you open, you also disperse information, right? Sick information and sick chi. The more sick information you manage to free up and transform, or dissolve and disperse, the more you're going to purify your kidney chi as well, because the kidney chi is storing um, all of this. Or if you have to store a lot of trauma, a lot of negative information, a lot of negative experiences, again, this does not only refer to this life, it also refers to the lives beforehand, all of the life before this one, that has formed our individual law, our destiny. It determines a lot how your life is going, your overall life is going. If you're having a very problematic life, it might be that there's a lot of negative information from before, and no one can tell you how long it takes, but opening and closing as much as possible. For example, with pulling chi, or we're going to cross over a little bit in Dantian breathing as well, where you open and close. Or also, let's cross over to Tien Yuan already for a little moment. This is mainly open and closing. So this is all and everywhere where you open and close. Every time you open, you disperse more of the unhealthy information that has been stored inside. And everything you get rid of now is something you will have to deal less or not anymore with later. So your life can become a lot more beautiful when your kidney chi is getting stronger and healthier. The opposite is true as well. Instead of dispersing or opening, we can look at the closing aspect or storing. When you practice a lot of opening and closing, every time you close, you store healthy information inside and healthy chi. Because when you practice, you're in this good state and you're unified with the universe. Most of the times, that's at least the optimal situation, right? So, because you're in this unified state, this more heightened state of awareness, this more relaxed state, much more calmer than throughout your usual day, every time you close, you store healthier chi and information than, for example, while you breathe, being in a very difficult situation in the job or in life. So during practice, opening and closing, or consciously opening and closing, even while you walk somewhere, when you're swimming, if you're standing in a supermarket, you think of nature, or better even the universe, and you draw chi in. Every time you close, you store and retain healthier information and chi, as long as you do it consciously. So the simple open and close movement which we have in pulling chi, a little bit in the row chi, a little lots in the squats, even more in Tien Yuan. Big closing, big opening there. Dantian breathing when you sit quietly or when you practice Yuan. Here we can cross over to Di Yuan. Very healthy for your kidney chi. It's been a while, remember? Very healthy for your bones, very healthy for your bone marrow, very healthy for your hair, for transformation. Right, that's the next thing. Um, Opening and closing simply is very good for, well, transformation is actually a spleen aspect, which we look at that then when we do the spleen. But the kidney we have talked about is the catalyst for transformation. So it's the one thing that initiates transformations. And when you open and close, there is a lot of transformation going on. So when you open, first of all, there's a transformation inside because the inside is expanding. So it's becoming different. The next transformation that's going on is out when you have opened. And when there is this changing point to closing, there is information and chi transforming in the universe. It's purifying, it's merging with the yuan chi. When you then close, is the next transformation happening because chi is constantly streaming in. Remember, the mind activity in closing is not out, in. It's when we out here. We think inside and we close in deeper, deeper, deeper while we close. Yeah, we don't go from outside in and in and in. We go inside with the we close and then keep going deeper as we close. Already being inside, not arriving inside while we're closing. So as soon as you start closing, this is the moment when transformation is being initialized and is happening. So you store all this healthy information and transform it. So let's move on to the main methods, Tian Yuan. We've already talked about a major aspect of it, which is the opening and closing. Tian Yuan is massively working on opening and closing and gathering and dispersing information, pure chi from the universe. So very beneficial for kidney chi. Also, because you have the up and down movement continuously in Tian Yuan, it's very good for the knees and along the whole channel, right? Of the legs. Will have your position in Tian Yuan, hopefully, or we are supposed to have our lower back either straight or slightly concave outwards, rounded outwards. This opens the lower back, and that's why it's so very beneficial for kidney chi as well. Like in the squats, the vertical movement is being activated, the chi of the vertical flow. So Tian Yuan is of course nourishing, because it's nourishing the whole body. It's nourishing the brain, the spine, the kidneys itself, everything along the kidney and bladder channel. Let's not forget about the totality, the aspects of the fingers. When you do Tian Yuan, you open out and you kind of stretch the fingers, right? So you also stretch the kidney fingers, which is the little finger. So you strengthen kidneys and bladder through opening and closing your hands gently, and also opening the channels there during Tian Yuan. So you can implore slight Yongdong in the hands And also in the feet. When you do Qin Yuan, you can open your feet and close them. Open your feet and close them. As you open and close, you can open and close your feet as well. So you yongdong the feet while you do Qin Yuan, the same way as you can yongdong your feet while you do Qin Yuan. Qin Yuan, you do the feet and the hands is what I wanted to say. Have you ever tried Qin Yuan, doing yongdonging your feet and your hands? Yeah, not too much emphasis, but you can try and do that. Like, you don't want to get lost into only your hands and feet. You want to open big and close big, but you can incorporate a slight yongdong movement. If you're going in a very deep state, it's very interesting. There, you will feel a lot of chi accumulating. Literally, your feet turning into chi balls, and your hands just being like chi sucking machines or something. It's really a strong mechanism then to bring the chi in. And then you want to go ahead and let go again and just, become one as you have activated Yongdong Fine hands and feet. Really, really good for your kidney chi, especially the feet, but also the hand, the kidney finger. I heard Yancer once say, when your kidney chi is used up, this is when the body dies. So doing a lot of Qin Yuan will give you a lot of chi. This is one of the main features of Qin Yuan. We're gathering a lot of chi, so it can help you with longevity. The more kidney chi you have, the more dantian chi can be made, and the longer we stay alive. Again, of course, all of the chi is involved in making dantian chi, but the kidney chi is a very close connection to dantian chi, very direct. Remember the reproductive essence coming from or being made from kidney chi, and kidney chi even governing the generation of these essences. So the Qin Yuan is very beneficial for kidney chi, very beneficial for your reproductive activities or functions. Let's move on to the one, the second method. Again, the body posture is very beneficial for kidney chi because, first of all, your feet are flat on the floor. And they create this like roots. The feet are supposed to be like glued to the universe below you. That's why we should keep them flat on the floor. And so the chi can really become one. The chi of the feet can really become one with the chi of the universe. And that's when kidney chi can really very well flow upwards. And the Yonghuan, the point in the center of the foot, can really open up. And chi can enter very well. Because we have the ankles and the knees and the hips slightly bent, this is why you should be also bending your knees slightly, to first benefit kidney chi, and secondly, of course, to be able to relax the lower back outwards, to be able to tip the pelvis backwards. So the upper part of the pelvis tips backwards, the lower part of the pelvis with the hips tips forwards. And so we can round out where Lu is looking down, and the sacrum and lumbar spine are at least straight, best even if you can round them out concavely. Yeah? This will make kidney chi flow very well, and it can promote the kidney chi flow and bladder chi flow in the whole body. So the body posture in itself, just standing in that posture, is very beneficial for kidney chi. Which brings me to another aspect that I forgot. So let's go back to Jin Yuan for a moment. Of course, working on the lower jiao is mainly working on kidney and bladder chi, also small and large intestines, the whole reproductive system. It works on the adrenals because the chi of San Chao is working on the small organs. So the adrenals and the bladder are actually hugely worked on. The chi of the adrenals and bladder, but of course, because of the chi of adrenals and bladder, we also work on the adrenals and bladder. Doing the lower jiao is very beneficial. Yeah? I just thought of this when we were, because I was just standing in this posture in my mind of D1, and I'm like, oh, the lower jiao, very important, of course. A big aspect because we work on the organ chi there already. Not the pure organ chi, but the organ chi, and especially on the organ chi of the bladder and the adrenals. And whatever is good for bladder and adrenals is good for kidneys. So let's come back to D1, the body posture. Lower back is open, chi flowing strongly, benefiting the whole of the kidney and bladder channel. What also happens in D1 is that we get into this really special state of consciousness. Deeper than normally, more relaxed than normally, more calm than normally, truly unified very often. I am sure a lot of you are actually experiencing this dissolving of the body, the unification of Qing, Qi, and Shen. So when Shen, Qi, and Jing are the body are becoming really one, totally unified, this is when the awareness of the body goes away a lot, and part of Shen is taking over, which is the natural state, which is calm, relaxed, and natural actually. Everything besides calm, relaxed, and natural is not ding, staying or remain undisturbed, and therefore it's not natural actually for a human being. It's kind of a sickness. So D1 is hugely beneficial for kidney chi, and therefore for the brain, the focus, the state of consciousness, the deepening of the state of consciousness, because it's nourishing the brain, and the sleep state is nourishing the brain. D1 also strengthens the chi a lot, and also the body actually, because of the posture is not that easy to be in the beginning. So that's why we build the practice slowly up. Or for some of us who don't manage to do it consistently, every single time we start up again, we might have to start up with less minutes than we were, before, 20 or 30 minutes. So maybe we only can do 10 or 15 minutes when we start up again, because we have lost a lot of strength again. So remember, kidney chi is very good for bones and the strength of the bones. Well, actually, kidney chi is not very good for bones. It's governing the bones and the teeth. So standing form is very good for your teeth. We can jump back to Tianyuan here for a moment. Doing the upper jaw, for example, is very beneficial for kidney chi too, because respectively over the mouth area, the head area, you bring and nourish chi into there when you're close to upper jaw, the head. Of course, because when we do the upper jaw, we also nourish the lungs, and the lungs are nourishing kidney chi. So again, do you remember the Ke and Sheng cycle of the organ chi? The nourishing and controlling cycle. When we practice Di Yuan, we just stand there and we have our focus inside Dantian. The property of kidney chi is that it governs the reception or the being able to receive chi. So D1 is very beneficial for kidney chi because it's good for this property, this quality of kidney chi, which is receiving chi overall. So if you have a feeling that you don't get a lot of chi or very easily a good amount of chi, it might be that your kidney chi is weak, and that's why you can't receive chi very well. So when you strengthen your kidney chi, and D1 is doing it very well, it's strengthening this function of kidney chi, the receiving of kidney chi, of chi, overall chi, the receiving of all chi really. In D1 also transformation is very interesting, because kidney chi has the quality of transform, catalyzing transformation. And what is D1 actually for? D1 is transforming Yuan Chi into Dantian Chi. So D1 is actually the method in which the Chi that we bring in through any of the supplementary exercises, or Ren Yuan, or Tien Yuan, or Dantian breathing, it is transforming it because of the constant calm focus within Dantian. So this is where all the Chi can become Dantian Chi. So again, this is very, very, very healing for kidney and bladder Chi on all levels. D1 is for staying dim, remain undisturbed. And the kidney chi is nourishing the brain, and the brain is the physical base, or it's where the consciousness and our healthy state is sitting. Can you see the correlation there? Why it's important to have healthy, strong chi, or why D1 would be really beneficial for kidney chi? So let's go to Ren Yuan, because for some reason the time is running like crazy. For some reason, this pattern of fear during this kidney class about not worrying about the, or not really scared about, but really a little bit tense about, will I know what to say? You know, do I know enough to teach? It's really, there's plenty of information, obviously. Anyway, let's go on to Ren Yuan. The preparation. Clearly, we've talked about that. So let's go into the activating yin and yang with the cloud hands. Kidney chi is actually balancing yin and yang. So when you have strong kidney chi, you will probably have a very well balance between yin and yang. If you have, if your kidney chi is weakening, you will lose balance of yin and yang, and you will either get more yin or more yang. So you will have a strong imbalance there. What does that mean for our life? Well, a lot of imbalance, basically. You might be too cold, you might be too hot, you might be anything opposite. You might not be able to sleep at night and having to rest throughout the day. Yeah, so everything that is more in the normal opposite, that's an yin and yang imbalance. If we say it's simple, okay? If you, I mean, in TCM, there's lots and lots and lots of aspects of how you can see that yin and yang is out of balance. But mainly it has to do with weak kidney chi. So strengthening your kidney chi is really, really important for a balanced life, because kidney chi takes care of yin and yang. And so activating yin and yang, that's what the cloud hands are very good for. And that's why the cloud hands are very good for kidney chi. Kidney and bladder chi, right? Remember. Then we have the first segment. Turn heaven and earth. Lift up clear yang. So, because most people kind of have not strong enough kidney chi, their clear yang chi, which resides at the bottom of the body, in the area below Dantian, it can't rise up. And that's what we do in the first segment of Ren Yuan, if you remember, in my Ren Yuan workshop. Or anybody who taught you Ren Yuan extensively. So the whole turning of the head, turning of the body. And turning chest and hips is very good for kidney chi because, first of all, it balances yin yang. Yes, the whole first segment is about or for creating a better balance within yin yang again. Therefore, it's, because the chi can rise up, it frees up kidney chi. Um, Although kidney chi is actually drawing chi downwards, right? But clear yang chi is something that can't rise up enough. So, seeing those two aspects of what chi needs to rise up and what chi needs to flow down, actually, because directions need to happen. Again, up and down, it's the opposite, right? It's yin and yang. So it's balancing this vertical flow again. Um, because it works on the chi of the head. When we turn the head, it's very beneficial for kidney chi because it works on where the kidney chi also goes to or nourishes. Chi nourishes the brain, nourishes the thinking, the shen, controls the shen even via the heart. Um, so turning the head is good for kidney chi. Turning the body, you guide chi through the whole body and you open up areas, more spleen really here, but you make the spine flexible because of the turning, right? Like in cloud hands again, you open up the lower back, um, not is that dorsal, I think. So when this is my spine and this is my head and my face is front, yeah, the palms. So it's not like this. I mean, it's opening. It opens this plane of the sacrum, right? For turning, the twisting, it's opening around here. So that's why it's very beneficial for kidney chi, for turning. And when we then go to turning the chest and hips, of course, that is very clearly why, right? Um, the whole movement of Wei Lu, and then the hips and the whole pelvis is doing this turning, and the whole lower back and the whole pelvis and everything. Remember, the kidney chi actually goes up in of the legs into the pelvis, and in the pelvis it basically almost makes a whole circle, connecting with the bladder chi as well, which the bladder chi is going out, the bladder channel is going outwards into on the back of the leg, up through the buttocks or up the buttocks, and then in two channels, left and right, the spine. So the whole area there is kidney and bladder chi ruled, and it all, through this turning of the pelvis is a big work on kidney chi and very beneficial. As well as because we have lowered our body, our knees are being strengthened. And of course, the kidney channel, just for lowering the body again in the wide open position. So this is the other aspect, because we're in the wide open position, lowering the body different than in D1. We can activate kidney chi even more, help to open up the pelvis and the sacrum, which is necessary for kidney chi to be able to flow well, which is necessary for kidney chi to be able to arrive at the head and the kidneys in Dantian. And then we're coming to the second segment of Renyuan, which is unblock the wrists and work on the fingers and turn the wrists, So of course, very good, because you work on the little finger eventually when you open finger by finger, finger by finger. Also, the turning of the wrists is of course benefiting the health of the little finger and the flow to the little finger, which is kidney and bladder. Yes? There is a story about when we go down with the fists and up with the fists, it's like directing kidney chi down and kidney chi up. Was it Dantian chi? Janzi told us some story about martial arts where you can direct the chi when you hit someone down. I guess it's not concerning us, we don't hit people, right? But when you send the chi down, it's kind of killing that person. If you send the chi up, it's just gonna, or the opponent is just going to be pushed away. And when you send the chi down, so this is a martial arts move that we do in Renyuan. Okay, let's forget about that. We're not about to kill anybody, right? So let's go to the next segment, opening the bow, or pulling the bowstring and opening the bow. Opening the bow and pulling the bowstring, sorry. When you do the hands, very beneficial for kidney chi, of course, right? Because you have this big stretch and you go into the very relaxed hand when you on the bow string hand, and the bow hand is on a lot of tension, and the little finger has to curve, and it's really beneficial, so to speak, for that. And then you have to turn in this position, and again your whole body turns and opens the sacrum in a different way, opens the whole chi flow there. Also, it works big on the lungs, and that's why it's nourishing the kidneys very well, because the lung chi is nourishing kidney chi. We could go on forever, I see this, but I only have 10 minutes left, so let's go through it. We're almost through. The next one is again, raise the head and arch the back, yeah, which is this opening and closing, which is apparent. We bring Welu up and the head down, so again we move the lower back forward and backwards here, which just opens the kidney chi up in a different direction, but very beneficial again. Also, we're down, lowered, so now you can see the repetitiveness of how in Renyuan every movement works on all the chi, really. It's amazing. It's just an amazing method. And then we go up and we stretch, and in the stretch we actually don't bring our lower back out, we have Welu down. And this opens the lower back also. It's you stretch your whole body from the bottom of the foot through the ankles all the way up to the brain and the top of the head, and all the way to the kidney finger and the tips of your fingers. So again, the chi flow of the whole body is also very good for the kidney chi. Then you come down and you lower, then we get to the auspicious dragon weaves through the sky, where we work on the organ chi directly. So how do we do that? Because so first of all, we shift the spine left and right, so it opens the whole area there, pelvis and spine sideways, which for now we had only worked it like this or round or like that, and now we shift different planes, so that works on a different aspect of kidney and bladder chi. And then we do the moving of all the chi of all the organs is being moved with the swirling dragon, and we mix it and we mix it. Also, we go lower, 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 lower. So this is very, very good work on kidney chi as well. And of course, bladder chi, which going up the back of the legs, strengthening the back of the legs, strengthening the inside of the legs. The whole segment 3, the auspicious dragon, is also very good for kidney chi because we're going all the way up and down, but with closed legs, which makes the inside of your legs work in a different way, which activates the kidney chi in a different way, and the bladder chi at the back channel, the bladder channel at the back of the legs. Also, we directly work on organ chi there. So we're mixing all the organ chi. Can you remember how, the K and the Sheng cycle, how they all work together, controlling, balancing, nourishing, supporting each other, relying on each other. Yeah? This is what happens during the swirling dragon. So whatever is good for all the organs is, of course, very good for kidney chi and bladder chi. When we come to the dragon offering pearls, again the same up and down movement with closed legs. Yeah, and we're shifting the hips left and right. So really, really good for the whole area here. Plus the whole legs are being worked on with this closed feet, that what I've just explained. Which makes us come to the 4th segment. Push hands forward, unblock chi channels. That's not the segment of that's not the name of the 4th segment, which I've just forgotten this moment. It's all right. This 4th segment of Ren Yuan, this happens because I never use the CD, so I kind of forget about the names because I'm only doing it. This is really, the whole segment 4 is very especially good for kidney chi, right? So first we round out the back, the lower back and the upper back, and then we come out and come about, and then we push forward and lower our body, and now we arch the back, pushing the arms forward, and then rounding out the lower back, coming and relaxing, and then again pushing out. So this is strengthening directly the kidney chi there, through holding your body in this position, pushing forward and arching the back. The chi is basically pressed into the kidneys and accumulating there. So if you find this movement very hard, it could be because kidney chi is quite weak there, and it needs to really suck chi in and preserve chi there. So, doing this is very good for kidney chi, the relaxation, as well as the next one, the yongdonging the body and the crane head, which is bringing the chi all the way up from the kidney area, the hips, to the crane head, to the brain, along the whole spine, of course, the lower back. Also, because here we do lock the knees, actually, yeah? So there's a different way how chi is being worked on the knees, on these 2 exercises. And then we lift chi up, we're lifting a chi bar up, vertebrae by vertebrae, which helps the rising of the chi. And again, we're going into the pushing chi upwards, and we actually arch the whole back there, which just also activates the kidneys and the spine in a different way, and works, of course, also on the bladder chi, because first we stretch downwards, and then we lift the chi up, and then we go to the back. And so it works on the whole bladder and kidney channel. And then we do Yongdong Fa again with the upper body to loosen up all of this chi, and chi can start flow upwards really well, and also downwards actually. Which brings us to the 5th segment, to gather chi back and smooth the chi out. Reach for the moon, also reach for the sky and fetch the moon. You will feel a lot of chi and movement and work done by your lower back, which is always means that kidney chi is activated and working and accumulating. Yeah. Through the stretch, you work especially on the bladder channel, of course, also on the kidney channel of the legs, because you stretch your whole legs out to the back. As well as when you come in and you fetch the moon, you round out your lower back and you pull up the foot, and therefore you stretch the other side of ankle and inside of the leg a lot. And of course, again, the bladder channel is really, really worked on. Yeah, so very beneficial for bladder and kidney channel. So when we lift up, we're practicing balance. What does kidney chi do? It balances yin and yang, which basically is corresponding to the balance in life. So when you balance, while you reach for the sky and fetch the moon, in the up, when you have lifted the leg up and you're in the air with the leg and the arms look forward, you practice balance, which means that you practice the property of balance in life, which means it's very beneficial for yin-yang balance, which means it's very beneficial for kidney, bladder chi. And then we have the lift and drop, which is a good exercise for your feet and balance. So you rise and you drop. So your feet first they get worked on because you lift your whole body weight on the feet, which activates the kidney chi again. And then you drop. And then you feel chi going all the way up to the brain. And that's very good for free flow of the kidney chi. It is also a reverse movement of what happens when we have a fright or a scare or we have fear, where kidney chi disperses downwards very fast. And when we do the lift and drop, we actually teach the chi to go upwards. You know, so you drop and the chi, you drop, and through the drop, the chi actually is being sent upwards. And when we practice that a lot, according to the laws of the universe, how we've learned it, no more than 3 rounds per Renyan round. But we practice the chi to actually go against its unhealthy nature when it's being activated unhealthy. And so it goes upwards instead of dispersing downwards, which upwards means it can gather in Bai Hui and the brain again, which is healthy instead of unhealthy, dispersing downwards and gone and losing it. Yeah. And then we have the tapping. And the tapping is, like always, I might just borrow 5 minutes from you. So the tapping, of course, is good. Middle Dan Tian Chi, good for all organ chi, good for kidney chi. Then you're tapping up along the channel of the kidney. Can you know, along Ren Yuan, but right and left, can you remember when I showed you before? The kidney chi, the external channel is actually going right up here. So you tap along right here, then you tap along right here where the kidney channel is going inwards and to the ears. So you tap up here, throat is all good. You tap the brain, which is good for the bladder. Remember the bladder channel here? Yes. If not, you can go back to the front, the beginning of this sequence, or you can go back to where we went through the bladder channel in detail a few weeks back. It's all online. So you go ahead and you can, you tap bladder and kidney channel a lot here and down, open that way. And then you rub chi into the breasts, which also kidney chi is going into the breasts and over the breasts. So opening the bowel is good for breast health. You can also massage your breasts while you do that. Good for kidney and bladder chi. Then you're going down clearly right over and tapping chi into the kidneys, which and along the whole bladder channel. Okay, so don't just. I see often how people go very quickly from here. They just tap one or two times the whole big back. Remember the bladder channel with its two channels besides the spine and with a lot of points there. Yes? So take yourself some time when you tap down the back. Tap, 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 and tap into the kidneys and then into the sacrum and then come out to Hun Chiao. And here, what happens is that I see a lot of people tapping the outside of the legs in Ren Yuan. Underneath the buttocks, you go under the buttocks and go to the back side of the leg. So you tap down the back of the legs because you want to tap the bladder channel, which is very strong there and ruling the thigh. Okay, you don't tap the outside. It's like a middle. You're not completely at the back. You do want to get the side a little bit too, but you're definitely not just at the sides. You're really more to the back. Remember or look at the bladder channel again. The back of the knees, really important. There's a lot of bladder points there. You know, bladder is so important. We've gone through all of this, what is for bladder and kidney chi. Yeah. Everything that's for the bladder is actually for kidney. So teeth, bones, thinking. I'm not going to start again. There's lots of information about what kidneys are all about in the last 5 classes. Yeah. So tapping down, and then you massage left and right of the Achilles, which is really where the bladder channel and the kidney channel also meet. So this is directly working on kidney chi. Then you come to the front, and because the kidney chi circles around the back of the outside of the ankle, you know, you kind of get it there too, and then you yongdong the feet, which is again especially for kidney chi because of the bottom of the foot. The sole of the foot is ruled by kidney chi. There's other foot channels, the liver and the gallbladder and the spleen. But the kidney chi, of course, comes from out here, remember? Up the leg, up the foot, sorry, from the center to the outside of the foot, around the ankle. And then we tap up the inside of the leg, which is exactly the kidney channel. So tapping upwards is, when we tap down and up, we do tap for the whole leg, but it's a lot about kidney and bladder channel, the tapping in Ren Yuan on the legs. So very, very beneficial for kidney and bladder channel. You can do that in the bed, sitting up in the morning. If you want to activate your kidney chi some, you can tap down at the back and massage your Achilles and come and massage yongdong your feet and tap upwards the ankles, and then on the inside of your legs, tapping towards the groin, tapping that's where the kidney channel, you know, goes. And then you go back to the Ren Yuan, Ren Mai, the center, but also the kidney runs right besides there. So you tap the kidney channel again. Then you stretch out and you tap up to the shoulder, and all the way along here, this is where the kidney channel disappears again, right? To the internal one. So good tapping here. And then you tap on down, and you tap towards the little finger, which is the kidney channel. And then again, you tap upwards and outwards. So when you tap down, you're not completely on the front, right? You just activate all of the chi, and it's good for kidney chi. Then you tap besides the ear. And again, here I see a lot of people tapping just a little bit, just passing by the ear. You can go and tap the ears a little bit, you know, when you do that. It's like this way. Coming up the sides of the head, bladder channel, kidney deep inside, kidney nourishing the brain, tapping your whole head, coming down. Have you seen the bladder channel going all the way to here, into the corner of the eye there? So when you tap down here the face, you're actually tapping the bladder channel. Have you known that you work on your bladder when you tap here? And then you come down, all the way to middle dantian, nourishing chi in middle dantian, good for kidney and bladder chi. Then you come down to lower dantian, good for kidney and bladder chi. And then you gather chi in 3 circles. Yes? And you open the central channel and you rub the chi in, which is clearly very beneficial for kidney and bladder chi, because here you gather a lot of chi into dantian, like in D1, and here you actually rub chi into. So first of all, the sound Hong, you activate all 3 dantians. Therefore, you activate kidney and bladder chi. When you circulate the chi in the head, because kidney chi is rising up to the head, you know, and you are working on focus again here. You're focusing inside, and you feel the chi moving inside your head. So your concentration and focus is being strengthened in a healthy way, in a healthy state. When you have to think and focus a lot, you actually, during your work, for example, or in only mind activities, you're actually using a lot of kidney chi. When you focus in a very good Qigong state, like when we do Ren Yuan and circling Qi in, we actually helping kidney Qi and benefiting kidney Qi, because this is focus in a healthy way. And then you circle down all the way. Middle dantian, good for kidney Qi. Lower dantian, good for kidney Qi. And then you draw Qi back. Yes? So that leads us to Ren Yuan. And then we come to Sha Yuan, which is said in 2 or 3 phrases, because everybody who has learned Sha Yuan knows about that it works on the pure organ Qi. It activates the actual kidney Qi with the kidney sound. You even feel your kidneys, highly beneficial for kidney Qi, the whole method, all the way up and down. The opening beforehand already is strengthening the vertical flow of the chi, and you know, the legs for just up and down in a very good state of focus, of consciousness. And then we work on mouth qigong with teeth are bones, and bones are made from kidney chi. So mouth qigong is highly beneficial for kidney chi. Also saliva. Saliva is a qing, it's a fluid, it's an essence. So kidney chi is used to make essence. So lots and lots and lots of healthy, beneficial things here for kidney chi in Sha Yuan, the 4th method. Not only the hands and the fingers and everything. Yeah? The finger, the sounds, the focusing, the color black, the connecting of kidney and heart chi. Now after the kidney class of the last 5-6 weeks, you might also know now why this, what we do here with when we make the kidney sound, soy, when you go down here. We mix kidney and heart chi. Remember the balancing controlling cycle? Kidney chi is controlling and balancing heart chi. We make it one. Kidney and heart, or shen chi, is very closely connected. Oh. So let's draw Chi back. Let's leave it at that. This class today is about implementation of kidney and bladder Chi within the totality of the Yuan Gong methods. And next week we're going to do implementation. All of the information from all the kidney and bladder classes, and we're just going to do the kidney sounds and pull Chi to the kidneys and Yong Dong Fa and things like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing you. Open your feet. If you've been sitting cross-legged, tap Chi down, rub Chi into your kidneys. First close your eyes. Lift Hui Yin to Dantian if you haven't. And then tap Chi down from the kidneys, down the legs, guiding the Chi down, the outside and back of the legs, to the ankles, the outside of the feet, the toes, inside of the feet. Tapping up, you can yongdong your toes a little bit as you tap upwards. The knees, guide Chi up the thighs and into the groin and then to Dantian. Open yourself out into the Chi field with all the information about kidney and bladder Chi today and totality of the Yuan Gong methods for kidney and bladder healing. Draw the information to upper dantian and ask your kidneys to help you with storing the information. And then open out to the Chi field and draw Chi back to lower dantian. Nourish Chi quietly in dantian. And then do the head and face, unless you want to sit quietly and nourish Chi a little bit longer. Thank you. See you next week.